Most people think success is a simple formula. Iron discipline, waking up before the sun, outworking everyone else and just grinding it out, no matter the cost. And sure, that approach can definitely get you far, maybe even into the top 10% of any field. But to truly transcend, to actually hit the very top, that elite 1%, the rules of the game are fundamentally different. It's not just about doing more. It's about being more. Real transformation happens when your identity aligns with your ambition. Who you are becomes the bedrock for what you do. To reach that level of excellence and lasting impact, you need to move past surface-level motivation and fleeting willpower. It demands a deep transformation. An identity shift that sustains your desired results for the long haul. In this video, we're breaking down 5 core principles. These separate those who just try to get results from those who become the kind of person who not only achieves, but consistently maintains success. These aren't quick fixes. They're foundational pillars for a profound, enduring change. They redefine your potential and your capacity to achieve. The first principle, burn the boats. You have to create a point of no return. The idea of burning the boats isn't some modern concept. It's a strategy of total commitment as old as time. Ancient civilizations like the Vikings understood this with brutal clarity. When they landed in enemy territory, their longships, those imposing vessels, often weren't left ready for retreat. In some campaigns, the ships were deliberately pushed away from shore or even damaged. Escape was impossible. The message to the troops was crystal clear. There's no going back. We either win here, or we don't return home. This radical decision completely reshaped the warriors' behavior. No room for cowardice disguised as caution. No negotiating with fear. Every single decision had to work because there was no rescue. The only option was to push forward and conquer. As long as an escape route exists, the human mind, by its very nature, will always seek that path to retreat. It falls back into its comfort zone. It's a self-protective mechanism that, ironically, stops us from growing and reaching our true potential. It's common to preach having Plan B, C, D, a whole alphabet soup of backup plans, because inevitably something always goes wrong. And yes, having contingencies is smart and prudent in many situations, but often a Plan B stops being a smart strategy. It becomes an emotional crutch, an excuse not to commit fully to Plan A. It turns into an escape hatch the mind uses to avoid the discomfort of total commitment, vulnerability, and the inherent risk that comes with any big goal. In daily life, the boats we don't burn aren't as obvious as ships ablaze. They show up in subtle, almost invisible ways, yet they're just as destructive to progress. Keeping an unsatisfying job, telling yourself it's just until things get better, indefinitely postponing the search for something more meaningful. Sticking with an empty relationship because it's not that bad. Avoiding the confrontation and pain of a necessary change. Treating a life project like a side hustle, a hobby, never giving it the priority it deserves, relegating it to the background, and preventing its full development. These are escape routes disguised as security, stability, common sense. Often this isn't caution, it's just well-organized fear, dressed up as prudence. It's the fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, the fear of dealing with the fallout of a bold decision. It's paralysis by overanalysis, the endless hunt for a guarantee that will never materialize. Burning the boats, in a personal development context, means eliminating the escape routes that enable procrastination and half-hearted commitment. For instance, launching a new business. Set a hard deadline to quit your current job. Remove that safety net. Force yourself to dedicate entirely to the new venture, or committing to a health goal. Clear unhealthy foods from your house. Cancel fast food subscriptions. Sign up for a gym with a long-term contract. Make healthy eating and exercise the easiest and only option available. Another example, invest a significant amount of money in a project or training. Create a financial commitment that forces action and the pursuit of results. The cost of inaction becomes too high, too painful. When there's no turning back, something profound shifts. The mind stops asking, "Will this work?" It starts asking, "What needs to be done to make this work?" Energy once spent on doubts and internal bargaining gets redirected toward finding solutions and executing. Necessity is one of the greatest motivators there is. It's necessity that pushes us to innovate, to find creative solutions, to overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. This is what the Vikings understood centuries ago. It's what few people accept today, preferring the illusion of security over the reality of growth. Burning the boats doesn't mean irresponsibly or impulsively abandoning everything. It means instead removing from your life the paths that allow you to keep being who you say you no longer want to be. In practice, this could mean stopping treating your main project as a plan B, giving it the priority and investment it truly deserves, stopping endlessly, studying something that can only be learned by doing, by taking action and putting knowledge into motion, taking on commitments that cost time, money, reputation, and that compel growth and action, creating a sense of urgency and accountability. The point isn't the size of the decision, it's the irreversibility of that decision. Reversible decisions fuel procrastination, doubt, internal negotiation. They give the mind excuses not to act. But irreversible decisions force you to mature, to seek creative solutions, and to strengthen yourself personally. The only way out is forward. However, many people talk about burning the boats and miss one crucial detail. Burning the boats doesn't guarantee victory. The Vikings knew this. They just knew that without that decision, defeat was certain, and returning home, impossible. Life is the same. Burning the boats puts you on the battlefield. It gives you a fighting chance. But many people still crash and burn there, even after torching their boats. And it's not for lack of courage. It's because they still rely on something that always fails in the end: willpower. And that's exactly why the second principle is so critical. The second principle: understand that willpower doesn't sustain anyone for long. In high-performance settings, nobody relies on willpower. If they did, no one would ever finish. Think about long, grueling journeys, little food, little sleep, cold, heat, pain, doubt. If the mission depended on feeling like it, it would never even start. Willpower is a finite resource, like a phone battery. It runs out. This becomes crystal clear early in any challenging endeavor. There comes a point where the body is already pushed past its limit. You haven't slept well, you're hungry, exhausted. Yet, you still need to make decisions. Good decisions. Decisions that impact the entire group. No one there is motivated. No one is inspired. But everyone keeps moving. Not because they want to, but because the system doesn't ask if you want to. The schedule doesn't negotiate. The mission doesn't negotiate. The team doesn't negotiate. Reality demands action. If willpower were the deciding factor, the physically strongest wouldn't be the last to fall. Often the first to quit is the one who relied too much on themselves, the one who thought they'd win by sheer "I can take it, I'm strong" attitude. Willpower runs out. It always runs out. And it runs out at the end of the day after countless decisions. It runs out when pressure mounts, when stress accumulates, when routine becomes monotonous. That's when people start bargaining. Not today, I'll make up for it tomorrow. Just this once. In demanding contexts, there's no room for this internal negotiation. The negotiation was already settled beforehand, through planning and protocols. That's why everything is meticulously planned. Wake-up times, meal times, movement times, rest times. When planned rest even exists. This isn't rigidity, it's survival. It's the understanding that mind and body have limits. Relying on willpower is a blueprint for failure. In everyday life, people try to solve everything with willpower. They wake up determined, promise this time it'll be different. But by day's end, they've already renegotiated everything. It's not because they're weak, but because willpower is a finite resource like a phone battery. The more you use it, the more it drains. And when it drains, the mind seeks the path of least resistance, immediate comfort, instant gratification. The solution isn't to have more willpower, but to depend less on it. It's about building systems and environments that make the right action the easiest, most natural one. It's about automating important decisions so they don't hinge on your mood or energy level. It's about understanding that discipline isn't a personality trait. It's a direct result of a well-designed system. And this is where we hit the third principle. The third principle: create an environment that forces you to be who you want to be. If willpower is a limited resource, then intelligence lies in not depending on it. The most effective way to do that is to shape your environment. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Think of a river. Water has no willpower, but it always finds its way to the sea. The environment compels it. It follows the course the terrain dictates. If you want to read more, don't rely on willpower to pick up a book. Leave the book open on your nightstand, on your daily commute, on your couch, in strategic spots where you'll naturally encounter it. Make reading the easiest, most visible option. If you want to eat better, don't rely on willpower to resist sweets. Don't buy sweets. Don't keep them in the house. Eliminate temptations from your immediate surroundings. Make healthy eating the default, with nutritious foods always within reach. Your environment isn't just physical, it's also social. If you want to grow, surround yourself with people who are already where you want to be, or who are on the same journey, chasing the same goals. The positive peer pressure, the exchange of ideas, the sense of mutual accountability. All of this creates an environment that pulls you up. It inspires and challenges you. Conversely, distance yourself from environments and people who drag you down, who encourage old habits, who criticize your ambitions, or who drain your energy. Discipline isn't something you have. It's something you build through your environment. The architecture of your life dictates your behavior. A well-designed environment eliminates the need for constant, exhausting decisions. It guides you, pushes you, forces you to be the person you aspire to be, even when your willpower is low, even when motivation falters. Think of a high-performance athlete. They don't rely on willpower to train. They have a rigorous routine, a coach, a support team, a specific diet, an entire environment that forces them to train, to eat well, to rest. Their environment is engineered for success, making the desired behavior almost automatic. However, even with an optimized environment, there will still be moments of extreme pressure, overwhelming fatigue, where the hot mind will try to sabotage everything. Life is unpredictable. The environment can't always be 100% controlled. And it is for these moments that the fourth principle is absolutely essential. The fourth principle: decide with a cool mind, execute with a hot mind. Here, we need to grasp when a decision must be made. In high-pressure contexts, you learn very early the difference between a cool mind and a hot mind. This distinction is vital for survival and success. The cool mind is the one that decides before the pressure hits, before fatigue, fear, or emotion take over. It's the strategic, rational mind that plans with clarity, anticipates scenarios, evaluates risks, and defines action protocols. It's the mind that operates with logic and objectivity. The hot mind, on the other hand, is the mind grappling with harsh reality. Physical pain, hunger, sleep deprivation, the stress of the moment, uncertainty, and chaos. It's the mind that craves immediate relief. It wants to stop the pain. It wants comfort. It wants to bargain with reality to find the easiest way out. And there's a very clear rule. The decision is never made with a hot mind. Because the hot mind doesn't want to win. It wants relief. It wants to stop the pain. It wants comfort. It wants to negotiate. That's why in a critical operation, every important detail is decided beforehand. Time, pace, pattern, itinerary, mission, contingencies, emergency plans. When exhaustion sets in, when danger is imminent, there's no internal debate. The decision has already been made with a cool mind. Your body and mind are trained to execute it without question. In practice, this means that in the worst moment, you don't think. You just execute what was predetermined. Now look at civilian life. Most people do the exact opposite. They decide when they're tired, when they're emotionally shaken, when they're frustrated or under pressure. And that's when the internal bargaining begins. Not today. I'll do better tomorrow. Now isn't the best time. I'm not ready. This might seem like rationality, a quest for optimization, but it's just emotion in command. It's sabotaging long-term goals for immediate relief. Every time you leave a decision to be made in the moment of pain, you're handing over control of your mind to its worst version. Mature decisions are made when your head is calm, when your body hasn't yet entered survival mode. It's when you have clarity, perspective, and the ability to think strategically. And this is where the if-then protocol comes in. In high-performance environments, no room is left for emotional improvisation. Reactions are pre-programmed for every possible scenario. If X happens, then I do and Y. If communication is lost, then I advance to the agreed point. If someone falls, then the other takes the lead. If the route is blocked, we take alternative plan Z. All of this is decided with a cool mind. Life works the same way. If it's this time, then I start working on the project. If fatigue hits mid-workout, then I push for 10 more minutes. If doubt arises about the diet, then I stick to the meal plan that's already set. The if-then eliminates negotiation with the hot mind, because when the moment arrives, the decision no longer exists. Only execution remains. This is how you take emotion out of command. You return control to who should be in charge from the beginning, the rational, strategic mind, which holds the long-term vision. But making good decisions with a cool mind only works when there's something that sustains that decision, something that goes beyond method, routine, protocol, something rooted in the individual's core. That's exactly why the last principle is the most important of all. It ties everything together. The last principle is the simplest to grasp and the hardest to live. Be more than you appear. This motto resonates deeply. Be more than you appear. And it's not about results. It's about identity, about character, about the essence of who you are. In demanding environments, it's common to see people who, upon reaching a high level, tend to flaunt their achievements, their trophies. This can stem from insecurity, a desire to impress and for others to know what they've accomplished. It's a search for external validation, for applause, for recognition. However, the real question isn't what you've achieved, but what you are doing today. Who are you today? This question forces us to look inward, to the core of our character, to the actions we take when no one is watching. What you achieve isn't as important as what you become. It's fair to be proud of past achievements. No one can take those away, but they don't define who you are in the present. What defines us is the character we build throughout the journey, in the small and large daily decisions, in the consistency of our actions. Most people today are obsessed with having success, having money, having recognition, having freedom. But almost no one is willing to be the kind of person who sustains all of that when no one is looking. In high-performance environments, you might seem strong for the first few days. You might speak eloquently. You might impress with speeches and promises. But no one cares what you appear to be. They care about what's left when fatigue sets in, when fear tightens its grip, when there's no audience, when temptation is strong. Because that's when character truly shows up. No camera, no applause, no external validation. There's just the person, their decisions, and their consequences revealing their true identity. And that's why no method works without identity. No routine works without character. No system holds up when you're still negotiating with who you claim to be. Be more than you appear is precisely that. Doing the right thing when no one is watching. Maintaining the standard when no one is enforcing it. Honoring your word when it would be easier to make an exception. It is integrity in its purest form. The coherence between what you say and what you do. The decision to change your life, to abandon a solid career, for example, isn't a financial or comfortable decision. It's an identity decision. Going back would be easy, but it would violate who you decided to be. It would be a betrayal of your own values and your own commitment to transformation, and this is where everything connects. Burning the boats doesn't work if you still want to appear courageous but aren't. Ignoring willpower doesn't work if you still want to appear disciplined but cave to every impulse. Creating an environment doesn't work if you still want to appear focused but allow constant distractions. Deciding with a cool mind doesn't work if you want to appear strong but bargain with pain. All of this only works when you accept to be consistent, to be reliable, to be someone who doesn't negotiate with their own words, who lives by their principles. Because in the end, success isn't what you achieve, it's what you refuse not to be. Everyone wants to have what few have, but few accept to be who few are. So I leave you with a simple yet uncomfortable question, one that forces us to look inward. Considering only what you do today, stripped of past glories, without what you've already achieved, who are you? The answer to that question defines your true progress. It's about being a human being ready to serve, accepting yourself as you are, facing your flaws, and working on them to evolve. It's not about being at war with yourself, but in constant construction, in a continuous process of refinement, being ready to serve, to make a difference in people's lives, to be useful in some way to the world, not just for yourself, but for the collective. This is the greatest lesson of this journey, that success isn't about accumulating material achievements or titles. It's about who you have become in service of something greater, of a purpose that transcends the individual. This is what sustains change in the medium and long term. It's not fleeting motivation. It's not the euphoria of a new week. It's a deep sense, a purpose that transcends the individual and gives meaning to every action. And many people confuse motivation with euphoria, confuse discipline with suffering. That's why people start strong but can't sustain it. They chase the emotional high, the adrenaline of the new, but not the constancy of purpose, the resilience that comes from a solid identity. If this video resonated with you, if it touched something deep inside and made you reflect on who you are and who you want to become, then this is just the beginning. If you believe this message can help others transform their lives, share this video. Comment below. I choose to be more than I appear. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content that helps you go further.